We're live. Hello, hello. Welcome, everybody. Hello, Miss Annette. How are you doing today?
Fantastic. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic as well. Today's a special day. I get to meet with you again, and I like it. I think we should do this every week. You know what I mean?
Couldn't agree more with you. I'm super excited about today. And I feel like every time we get to have these meetings, I'm super stoked. So I agree with you. We should definitely do it more often.
We should just do it every week, and obviously, we have an honor to introduce a powerhouse lady today, and we're gonna bring her on the screen here shortly. But if you want to share a little bit about her before we get started, and obviously, right now we just started up, so we're gonna allow the viewers to load up a little bit here. Let me look at the screen, making sure it's all good. I don't see it on my Facebook yet, so it should pop up, but it should pop up there. But just let us know if you can see it on the other side. But go ahead and start, Ms. Annette, if you want to just talk a little bit.
I'd love to share about it because you know what? I have an adoration and an admiration for this particular individual for such a long time. Actually, before I even actually had the pleasure of meeting her back, we worked for the same brokerage. Gosh, it must have been maybe like 2000 and sometime between 2010 and 12. And we would be honored a lot of the times on the same panels or like at our annual events. And I just had such an admiration for her determination and her drive that she had. So from afar, I've been admiring her for a very long time. And now that I've had the chance to get to know her over the last couple of years, and, I can call her my friend, it's such an honor to be, leading with somebody like this and having somebody like this added to our ecosystem. And I think that just is a testament to what's really going on here.
Right.
And the collaborations that we're able to do right now with like-minded individuals, people that want to grow and really want to serve selflessly. So I'm super stoked.
Thank you so much. And I love exactly what you said. I mean, it's a great addition to our family. And I'm looking on my stream, Annette. Can you look in your Facebook and just make sure that it's coming on your side? I just want to make sure that we are officially live. It looks like we are live, but
I see it.
You see it. Okay, cool. I was kind of panicking. I'm like, wait, are we live or we're not live right now? I'm like, okay, cool. Awesome. So without further ado, let's bring out our special guest. Let's do it.
Yes,
so
please.
Let's do it. All right, drum roll. Guess who it is? 3, 2, 1. Boom.
Welcome.
Welcome, Ms. Wendy Junk. How are we doing today?
I am great. How are you guys?
We're living the dream right here. We're living the dream.
That's so good.
Yeah, we're amazing. Thank you. I mean, just on my behalf, I want to thank you for the opportunity to work with you. It's an honor. I have a lot of admiration and respect, just like Annette does, and just all of these amazing things when I hear about you. And we've had the opportunity also not just to collaborate, in the business, but we've also gone out and built homes in the past, which is also something that's near and dear to my heart. I know it's for you and Annette as well. So thank you for being on this journey with us, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you. I appreciate that. My honor is mine, actually. I'm really excited to work along with Annette and you and this company. And there's a lot of good things coming. It's really, really exciting. So thank you.
Yeah, you're very, very welcome. Very, very welcome. So I would love to start, with your story. I always tell everybody, tell us your story, right? Because I want everybody to connect with who you are, right? And obviously we have the opportunity to know you. But just share with everybody your story, how you got started in this business, and just share some of the experiences that you've had.
Definitely. I started in the business in 2006, at the end of 2006, just basically a mother of 3 kids. And I wanted to build a business where I had my own schedule, no limits to the income that I can earn, and just basically be in an industry that allows me to work and get paid based on my efforts. And real estate was always for me. I mean, I've always looked at something that I've always wanted to do. Finally got my license when I was on maternity leave at the end of 2006 and started my career with Prudential. And I think that's where I met Annette. We worked at Prudential for about 7 years. But I would say I started in 2006 and I did pretty well. I didn't know what well was, but I think my first year was 24 transactions. And that was with hiring a coach with Mike Ferry. And that was one of the blessings when I started my business, is that I hired him pretty early on. I didn't want to make any mistakes, although there's so many that I could have,
Right.
I wish I would have known, but it allowed me to, do good business in those 2 years. The market crashed and I continued to do business. It's all I knew how to do. I ended up running one of the offices in Rancho Cucamonga for Prudential for 2 years. And then, when you're running an office, there's only so much you can earn. So I wanted to go back into sales and went into the REO business and ended up doing, gosh, I remember 1 year it was like 30 short sales.
Wow.
And then when that market changed, I went into representing investors and helping them find property and flip it. And then I started realizing, like, why am I not doing that? And then kind of learned the business a little bit.
Investor. Yeah, exactly. Right.
Yeah. And you kind of, I started flipping myself and, the market has shifted. So, sometimes you make changes to grow. The end result to every change is to grow. So I went from one company to another and actually, you just change with the market, you change with what your goals are, and here I am.
Yeah, very cool. Very cool. Well, thank you so much for sharing your story. Really appreciate that. And I didn't even know that you guys worked at Prudential together. Let's see, I learned something new about this interview. You guys go back.
Way back.
Very cool. Is there a question, Annette, that you may have for Wendy you want to ask that you want to bring forward?
I guess I would just ask Wendy if you could maybe share with us a little bit of what attracted you to our ecosystem and eXp. I know you probably are, a leader in this industry that can pretty much go anywhere. You're bright, you know the business, like you're super smart. So if you could just kind of share with us what was that piece so people can get an understanding of that, I think that'd be awesome.
Yeah, definitely.
Great question.
What I would say the reason why I made the switch is just the opportunity that eXp is offering us as agents. There's a lot of brokers out there, and I've been a member of maybe 4 or 5, I can't count right now, but they all offer certain things and they're usually all the same, whether it's a bigger split or some type of training. And don't get me wrong, there's certain times that you feel you need that, and that's why you make a switch to grow. But being in this industry, I don't know, what is it, 15 years now, I love selling real estate, and I love helping agents learn how to sell real estate. And every time that I went into a management position, I took a pay cut. And unless I was the broker, which I got to give it to the brokers out there, they're broke. It's just like, it's a joke out there, but it's such a hard position to make money out there. And I wasn't interested in that. So I went into the management part, but at some point your income is limited. And there's something that I see with eXp where I can lead a team, I can grow my team, and everybody wins. It's not just a certain individual. And no matter how much work you put in, everybody's going to win. And same thing with when you're hiring agents. As brokers, we all know, or team leaders, you hire an agent, you train them, and eventually they want to go on their own because they feel they need more money, as they should. Everybody should go do whatever is best for them. Here at eXp, you can hire them, train them, then let them be individual, and we're still winning.
Yes.
So it's a bigger picture that I haven't seen this concept in other brokers. And when we sat down and looked at numbers and what you can actually do in building a team, whether it's in Corona or I want to go build one in LA or, with my relationships in Orange County, I can do that and they can work on their own and make money and we all win. And I don't have to be in front of them 24/7. So it's a great opportunity for that. And that's kind of where I see, and that's why I made the switch. But even as an individual agent, the technology, it's impeccable. Why do we make switches? They're either going to pay me more, they have technology, or they're going to train me. And when a company has it all, plus you can get partnership and ownership, and you can grow, and no one's, you know, oh, they're making more than him or whatever. We're all growing together. It just gives us that environment that you want to be in, and you want to cheer for that person next to you. So I mean, the
I
team
love
that
it.
yeah. So
I love what you're saying, because it really is right. It's the difference. I would say the distinction is competition, which is the old style of doing business, and we have collaboration, right?
yeah,
And that's what I got from what you were saying, is like, you know, this is an abundance collaborative structure. And it really is, because, you know, just like yourself, I've built teams in the past, and you know, they graduate, you know, they get to a certain level, you know, and then they want to develop their own teams. And, you know, initially it's like, oh my God, like, man, I poured everything into these guys, you know, and you want the best for them. Like you said, you want the best for them. But at the same time, there's that limit on the ordinary real estate structure. With our structure, though, you have the way to, like, okay, cool, you're graduating. Awesome.
let's do it.
Let's get to the next level, right?
Yeah.
I love what you said. So I just wanted to emphasize that, because I think it's a big missing in our industry, right?
For sure. Absolutely. Whether you're an agent or a team leader or a manager, I mean, you can work as hard as, I mean, I worked my butt off for brokers, and if I leave, I literally walk out with nothing. So it's those like, gosh, I just poured 2 years for nothing. Absolutely. Well, it's not nothing, because you grow as an individual and you learn a lot from people up there. So I won't say I respect everybody that I've worked for, and I appreciate everything. But at the end of the day, what is Wendy Junk doing for her future? And this is what I really like about eXp.
Yeah. And I think that would be awesome for you to share a little bit more about, right? Because a lot of people are probably wondering, in addition to the fact that you can build a team, right? I think you're pointing towards the fact that you're an owner, right, with eXp, right? So can you share maybe a little bit of that, if you can, about the ownership piece and how that's going to make a potential impact right in your future?
Absolutely. I mean, I think you can probably, I don't know if you want to go into numbers and so forth, you could probably explain that a little bit better.
Yeah.
You know, eXp allows you to be an owner without the headache of a broker, if it makes sense, without the expense of a broker. But not because you are getting into your profit sharing, and you can walk away and maybe take a 3-month vacation, which we all know I like to do. But your business is still working. You know, it's working for you as an owner, where if you're an agent, if you're not grinding, the checks aren't coming in. And been there, done that. And if I can tell anybody, agents out there within, you know, starting their business, you got to look at ownership. You got to be able to decide, you know, where am I going to be in 5-10 years? Because I've been doing the business for 15 years. The last thing I want is to grind every day for 3 hours. At some point, you got to figure out a way to where you can have some passive income. And eXp has that platform, which, if you want to explain, where you are ownership of the company.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you so much. It was beautifully articulated. I love exactly what you said. And I think, yeah, no, it was good. It was really great. Thank you so much for answering that question. And I think that, you know, for the specifics, I think that it would be awesome for them to reach out and connect, right? Because I'm pretty sure that, I mean, everybody out there, you know, is constantly seeing these, and we have a lot of more announcements that are going to come up, and a lot of them are asking, like, hey, well, what's up? Why is it that a lot of individuals are you know, looking at this platform, and why they're making the shift, right? And then for yourself, I would say, you know, what is your vision, right? I guess that would be a great question now. It was like, what is your vision? What's your next vision for like the next 5-10 years, besides all the vacations you're going to take? Because I know you're going to take a bunch of vacations, right? Which is awesome. But, you know, what's your vision in the next 5 to 10 years?
Well, I'd like to add some more properties into my portfolio, and that's kind of what I've worked on these last 2 years. Added a couple, and now, I mean, I've recently joined eXp. I'd love to get back into bringing some agents that need the structure, the help, the accountability, the knowledge, and hoping that they can, you know, welcome to come work in the office with me. I can train them and, you know, eventually allow them to continue their business. I definitely would like to, you know, grow a team and just continue to add more properties to my portfolio.
Love it. I love that. I love that. Absolutely. Passive income, growth of the team. And if you're thinking, or somebody out there is an agent that is maybe considering this thing, what would you say? Because I know that you looked at this thing and you had been seeing it, right? Why did you finally decide to like connect and say, okay, cool, let me do some more research? What was that process?
There's every agent gets calls from every broker out there to make them switch. And the very first thing we think like, oh, it's just another broker call. And I think what the very first is you wonder, what is it that they have? Why are all these people joining? And then you get into the fear mode, which it's very natural to like, oh my gosh, do I want to change? What are people going to say? And it's just like all this negative goes in your head.
Right.
But I've learned to go and look. It doesn't hurt. It doesn't cost anything. Go and look, because you owe it to yourself. You owe it to your why. And once you look, you'd be blind to realize that you've been doing the business, that there's a better way to this business. And once you see that, it's so hard to not move forward. It's so hard. So yes, the fear is going to come, like, I don't want to jump all these negative talks, but I've learned that when if something's fearful, it's because it's going to make you grow.
Yes.
And because if it was wrong, you immediately like, nope, not for me. But once you see it and you're like, oh, it's just hard not to go back. Yeah. So if I feel that, I know I need to do it, because it's just a matter of, growing. But once you see the numbers, it's like.
Yeah, it's a no-brainer. Yeah.
It's a no-brainer.
And what I would say also.
Things that you can't unsee, right? Like once you see something, you can't go back and unsee it. You're like, you can't. I got to move forward with this. I can't pretend I didn't see it.
Yeah, that's exactly it. It's like, you can't unsee it. I'm like, yeah, it makes sense.
It makes sense. It just, we should make some shirts and say it just makes sense.
It just makes sense.
We do need a hashtag.
Right. And what would you say is something, I mean, I had another question for you about, what would you say was one thing that you are really like passionate about, like that you could maybe train an agent out there, right? An agent that's looking maybe for empowerment, help. What is something that you excel at? I mean, are you more listings driven, buyer driven, investments? I mean, what is it that you're really?
Well, honestly, I've done all of them, and I think it's very important to take a look at what the market is doing and where it's heading, and being able to position yourself to be able to catch the market as it's coming. So I think it's important to every person is, it all depends where the market is, and that's kind of where I want to lead anybody on my team, because I'm not going to say just do one. I've been highly on listing, which is a great paycheck, but at the end of the day, right now, buyers are easy money. And am I going to turn away a buyer? No. So it all depends where the market is going. And I think a lot of agents need structure with that, especially if they're not experienced with, reading the market and doing whatever it takes. So I'd love to be able to help some agents get to that point.
I love that. I love what you just said. And I think that's one of the biggest things. It's being intuitive enough and aware enough to understand where the market's going. I mean, that's huge. And obviously you're coming from that standpoint because you've already been in the game. You understand that, right? For a lot of people that are like, that's a golden nugget. So if somebody takes that away, you have to be aware of where the market's going. Just Absolutely. Like you did with the REO market, just like you did with the short sale market, just like you did, where there be more listings. Right now it's the buyers, right? So there's business happening all the time. You got to know where it's going.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, what is another, I don't know if you have another question, Annette, but if not, what I was going to do is I was going to say like any closing thoughts or ideas, right? But any other question you might want to ask Wendy, since we got her on the hot seat right now.
Wow, let's see.
Yeah,
ask away.
I don't have any specific questions right now, but I just want to thank you and acknowledge you and your leadership for being part of the team and being a yes for us. I'm excited for our collaboration because I feel like we're really going to be able to help a lot of individuals as we continue to grow. And yeah, I just honor and thank you for who you are.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. So, likewise. And so yes, Ms. Wendy, one last question for you. All right. So just like one takeaway, one thing that you would say for a viewer, somebody that's listening to this right now, one last thing you could say to them, whether it's maybe getting them off the fence just to like be open-minded, or something that you just want to share with the viewers. The stage is yours.
I would say quiet the negative thoughts and go and search and do the work for you and for your why. Because you will not be able to unsee what you see. Just doesn't hurt, doesn't cost anything. Just quiet the negative thoughts and don't regret it. Love it.
And if somebody wanted to reach out to you, what's the best way for them to get a hold of you? Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, what's the best?
All of them. Any of them. It's just Wendy_Junk, JUNK, anywhere. Yeah.
All right, cool. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate your time, and honored to have you on the team. I'm looking forward to collaborating and building. Yes. And I always say this is only the beginning, because it really is only the beginning. And I'm excited to see more powerful ladies aligning. Like, this is so awesome. Like, I think the lady movement is going to come strong right now. I feel it.
Coming for you, boys.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. All right, cool. Well, thank you so much for your time once again. I'm going to go ahead and conclude our live, and we see each other soon.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, guys.